Kaiju number 8 and the piss that couldn't wait. What an anime. All right, guys, Brent here back with Geek to cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, Kaiju number 8, and I'm happy that we got Will on here because I went last week solo. This time, he's been brought into my world of anime because I've actually read this manga. Will, let's catch your thoughts from last week's episode a little bit and how you're feeling about this week's episode.
Uh, Last episode, pretty simple, and again, I like it. Just you see the downtrodden protagonist down on his luck, trying to figure stuff out, and he gets a chance to ramp up. So like that. Let's talk about the ramp up real quick. That thing was targeted at him to make him a kaiju for some odd reason. I don't know why yet. So like that, but again, it wanted him to become a kaiju, and it hunted him down to make him a kaiju in one of the most unflattering ways possible. And yeah, so now we got him and his full-on, I guess Godzilla-esque build, and they got to run away and figure stuff out. So that's where we at. And let me just say this: Lino, he a real one, because no hesitation, he was like, "Yo, we gotta get out of here," and he was down for his man. His man saved his life. He was like, "Yo, I got you. We gotta get out of here," and they went on the run. So
yeah, Lino is definitely one of one. He's one of the few names I almost always forget every single time, even though he's so good for Kafka and making sure Kafka doesn't just spontaneously combust. Kafka is that 32-year-old goofball where you always look at like he's been my boy for forever, but Lord help me, he can't do nothing right. It's just who Kafka has always been his whole life. And I know this is jumping around, but Kikoru, little blonde girl, saying 32 is old. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. We're getting close to that dangerous age range here where it's coming off as disrespectful. I'm not a huge fan of that. But also, like, as far as this universe is going, things are getting really, really interesting to the fact that Kafka was just minding his business. He was okay with his role and his lot in life, where his destiny was. He was just kind of like, yeah, this is me. This is who I am. This is where I'm at. And then all of a sudden you look up, be like, what are you looking at? What are you trying to? And next thing you know, boom. And now he's this insanely powerful kaiju who's like just trying to brace himself on a wall, obliterates the whole dang thing, and he's like, uh, everything I'm doing is wrong. Next thing you know, he's like had that whole head moment thing, and then he's like, I have to go to the bathroom, shoots out of his nipples for whatever reason. Like the dude is going through the changes of changes,
it's
and
kaiju puberty.
Kaiju Puberty School brought to you by the Defense Force. Because I mean, like, how do you feel overall about like where things are going? Any questions, stuff you wanted to have covered that I may
I
have missed?
mean, I like he's got a renewed sense of vigor and stuff. When he became the kaiju, he realized his strength. I love the hilarious moment where he went to go help a little girl and she was just like, no, he was trying to, you know, uh, brighten her up and stuff a little bit. But um, the fact is that she said thank you, and the fact that Lino was like, hey, don't give up, like push yourself for your dream and stuff. And earlier, that has renewed him in his sense of purpose for what he wants to do. And even though the age was cut down to 33 and he's 32, like he still got a shot. So I'm all for the underdog, the last minute, got to figure it out. So that's what's really got me going as far as the show, because there's heart at the center of the show, so that he wants to do good, he wants to be helpful, and he's going to do it the best way he can. So that's a plus. But how much does the government know? That's my question. The
The
kaiju
government,
team and messed him up, man. Right? So what? How much does the government know? Like what's going on with them? Because I think it's part of setup. Like the kaiju focused on him. Does the government know anything about that? I don't know.
the government knows these kaiju exist and that these things can happen to some extent. But as far as it being recorded or documented or understood to any level, or them having any control over it, the answer is no. They got nothing. They know that
Okay.
these things can happen, probably, but it's also like us as humans saying, yeah, somewhere out there in galaxy, we probably can fly when we jump off a building, but because we're on Earth, do not try it. It's kind of like there's a lot of possibilities out there involving the kaiju and the soju and everything else, daikaiju, going through the list of the kaiju rankings, that things can happen. But this, if they understood everything that's going on with Kafka, he would right now be one of one. He has somehow, some way, lucked himself into a moment where not only did the age number go up, but also he got the power set he needed in order to make sure that he was able to at least even take a look at the Japanese Defense Force. Because Japanese Defense Force, the suits that they give you, it reads off your potential. It doesn't read off of like your necessary strength or your necessary skill set. Like Kikoru, that little girl, she's a prodigy. She's gonna be doing some things. Her family lineage, very important. But at
Yeah, I
the
heard that.
same time, she's only like 16, 17, but she's going to be doing things where people are gonna have the whole big eye popping moment where you're like, dang, this girl can do a thing. And I can't wait to see the fans slowly start falling in love with a lot of the characters here because a lot of them have great qualities. There's not one of them that like potentially outshines everybody else, but at the same time, Kikaru is probably one of my favorites just because when it comes to getting things done, she is that girl. And if she was going to be in a military branch, just for perspective, she would have been in one of your favorites. She would have been Marine Life, no doubt.
Yeah, she's definitely like, yo, I'm all about hunting these things. And it's like, you even smell like it. Like, so she's on point. Like, she's ready to go. But I'm also looking at, they gave him the designation Kaiju number 8, which means this has happened 7 times before. There's no way, like, so where are these other 7? That's what I want to know, because like, have any of them
And
been
are there
captured,
only
tested?
7?
Well, I'm just saying that there's 7 there's documented before him for sure, because they have the designation number. So there could be, there's 1 through 8 right now. There could be 9 through infinity after that. Like, I don't know, but they know something that is special when they give them these designations. Like, and again, why they give them these designations? Because when the other kaiju just showed up, they said it's a kaiju, get shelter. They went, handled it, wham bam, we're good, we're out. But when, I guess, when they escape or they evade or they do more destruction, whatever, they get a number, and they'll probably get, that's where the classifications, I'm sure, are already, everybody gets the classification, I'm sure, of what type you are. But when you got a number, it's like you got the designation and the classification, like you're a real threat, or you're something that's really unique. So yeah, I'm curious as to where they're going to go and how this is going to play out when somebody finds out what he is outside of him and Lino. So
Yeah, because the number designation has definitely been set up to kind of build up intrigue. As far as any of the kaiju previously before him being humanoid, that is still something that needs to be discussed, and that's something I'm going to leave off for another episode, just so we don't jump into too much information that isn't necessarily within this episode. But I like where we're going. I like the opening that we got. Honestly, I think the closing music might be better than the opening.
One Republic did the closing music.
Mm-hmm.
So I was surprised, because usually I'm used to hearing it in Japanese. So the fact that One Republic did, I was like, okay.
Because I believe Youngblood did the opening and One Republic did the ending, or they tag team the ending. It was one or the other because they wanted to make sure that this anime was one of the most in sync with the English and the Japanese. Because normally there is, that little delay between when it airs in Japan and then when we get it. And the reason that things are dropping earlier is because they're trying to sync it as close as possible, so everybody's basically getting it same time.
They're live streaming it.
So forever grateful for that. Very appreciative, Crunchyroll and everyone. with Shonen Jump for making this possible. I like what we got going here. We got a lot of good stuff here. And now that we're about to hit the Academy, things are going to get a lot more interesting. You're going to start finding more characters that everybody will like and can really resonate with. This whole group is going to get bigger and bigger as things go on. A lot of exciting stuff right around the corner. I'm excited to see how this plays out alongside a returning My Hero Academia and a returning Demon Slayer in the coming weeks. Anime fans, we're going to be eating good here in the next couple weeks, so enjoy yourselves. Any final thoughts, Will?
Nah, just waiting to see what goes on and how this training montage is going to go. Hopefully, it's like, not too long. I want to get more into kaiju slaying.
Oh, when monsters are involved, things tend to run at a accelerated pace. You know what would help us? Hitting that subscribe button, accelerating our pace, heading right now towards 800 and then shortly after 1,000. Thank you all so much for all your love and support. We'll see you in the next episode.